KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to KNON.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.
Yo, what's up? I'ma kick it with the line, y'all know. Yo, Slim, can I kick it like that? Here we go. Well, it's time to make that change. People of the world today are fading. All of us have our ups and downs. You better think about it or you won't be around. What we need is a little bit of love, sent by one from heaven up above. Jacob T is simple and plain. This ain't no game, you know what I'm saying? What?
It's time.
Yep.
Time to make the change.
Here we go.
We are the people who can do it.
Oh yeah.
It's time. Time to make the change. I guess people, we can do it.
Yo, Mob, kick it for me one time.
What is the world coming to? Seems like everyone is running from the truth.
Yep.
We need to stand up and fight, walk into the light. We're the people, we can do it if we try.
I would like to say good morning. This is Church Information and Open Forum. I here every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on KNON 89.3 FM, the voice of the people. Got a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things going on. I'd like to say good morning to Reverend Ron Wright, Peter Johnson, all these guys with justice seekers of Texas and of America. Boy, they have fought over the years, bringing up the cases that most people overlook. Shootings in our community, shootings of our young men, shootings by the police department. They have fought and has never really gotten the credit they should have gotten for standing up for our people. And I thank God for Reverend Ron Wright and Reverend Peter Johnson and many others that have stood up over the years. But we got a lot of things going on, a lot of things that are happening. And we have this national story, which I warned y'all. I warned you. Last 2 weeks, I warned you. This guy might walk. Well, right now, he's free, but I don't know if the Justice Department is going to bring charges against George Zimmerman or not. I don't know. And if they do, I don't know if they could even win that case. I hope they could, and I hope they do. And but it's so much behind this. This is a lesson for a lot of you younger African American people. It's a lesson. You're beginning to realize that the system of jurisprudence here in America is not fair. We've said it. Been saying it. I've been saying it for years and years and years. How unfair that our American system of jurisprudence. No, justice is not blind. She's peeping from under that scarf. She's peeping and to see, make sure she's peeping and listening to make it sound, if it sound like a black person, if that look like a black person, I am not going to be blind. I'm going to get them. And that's the way our system is working for us and has always worked for us until we get up and fight for what's right, fight for our God-given rights, fight for those rights that we fought on battlefields in Vietnam, we fought on battlefields in World War II, World War I, we fought on battlefields all over the world for this nation. We've died, we've shedded our blood. But still, many of the nations that we fought against have not treated us as criminals as the United States of America. We fought. We've given of ourselves. In Vietnam, during the era I came through, we did not run to Canada. We did not run to Mexico and hide like white boys did. The brothers went to war. We fought. Many came back hooked on drugs. Many came back, their minds were messed up. But we still went and we fought with pride and dignity. We gave our limbs, not only just our lives, we gave our limbs for America. Come back with no legs, one leg, lost our arms, and lost our minds in many cases. We did not run off. We stayed and went. When we got that greetings, this is Uncle Sam, we went. Others ran. You didn't find us doing that. But still, when we came home, we're still treated less than human beings. We're still treated like in the United States Constitution as 2/3 human. It's sad. But I'm glad, in a way, that you got a wake-up call. You got a wake-up call. You got a call to let them know, let you know how they still feel about you. They still treat you less than a human being. We can do all that we can do. We can talk and say and brag about all the stars and the money and some of the fame many of us have, and we can talk about some of the things that we done, but we're still not free. No, we're not free. We're not free. That same system of jurisprudence that turned and tore the career of Michael Vick over some dogs. He never killed any dogs. They just owned the land where they were fighting and all of this, and ruined him. But the same system will allow this man, this animal, to kill a young child and then allow him to go free. We need to think about this. We need to think about this. We need to think. We need to stand up. Stand up for what's right. Stand up for ourselves. If we don't want to stand up for ourselves, let's stand up for future generations. Let's stand up for those. And we need to learn to protect ourselves. We need to protect ourselves. God give us our sense to know to protect ourselves. To stick together. Don't let nobody talk you down. I warned you and warned you over the years that things aren't what they pretend to be. This systemic racism has gone so strong for so long that they can't hardly quit it. Yes, there is a group of whites that's not a part of that. I was delighted to see many march with African Americans all week. But there is another segment of white people that just don't want to turn it loose. They have no real reason. They don't know why. They don't, and many of them was not rich enough to own slaves. They don't know why they want to discriminate. They don't know why they hate. But it's a vicious cycle, a system that has been taught from one generation to the next. It extends. It's a long snake of hate that extends from one generation to the next. But we can stand up and do things for ourselves. We can stand and fight for ourselves. We can stand and march for ourselves, and we can stand and protest. We can go to court. We can stand. We can defend ourselves. We can do all of these things. I remember a couple of weeks ago or so, they lady calls. So why do you say y'all must fight for your freedom? Why? Well, maybe you can see it now. You can see it. They say it was not enough evidence produced, and that was reasonable doubt. Well, let me say this: had Trayvon killed him, would there have been reasonable doubt? Had Trayvon killed him, would he not been arrested? Had Trayvon killed Zimmerman, they would have been asking for the death penalty, not manslaughter. It's sad. It's sad what's going on. And we have been quiet, thinking we have arrived too long. People, wake up. And wake up and get up. You don't have time to lie there and sleep. Get up. Think. Use your mind. Use your minds. Open your minds. Open your eyes. Stop pretending, walking it like you're walking in some dreamland. Stop pretending. What you're facing now is nothing compared to what we faced 40, 50, 60 years ago on back. It's nothing compared to what that is now. It's a lot easier. But you don't want to take on the task. You want somebody to do something for you. You want somebody else to stand for you. You want somebody else to be out front for you. You want somebody else to fight for you. You're always talking about what somebody else is not doing, what our leadership is not doing. Well, the leader is the person you look at in the mirror every morning. You're your leader. And it's up to you to do something about it. You can call me at 972-647-1893. We're going to talk about this verdict. What do you think? Why do you think they let him go? Why do you think if he get prosecuted to the Justice Department, we'll have to come in and do it? Why in America, 2013, we're still fighting the fight 50 years ago, 1963, fighting some of the same fights? Only back then we were together. Only back then we knew we had not arrived. But today we seem to be timid about everything. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Give us a call. 972-647-1893. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what you've got to say. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Let's go to line 3 and say good morning to Reverend Ron Wright. Good morning, Reverend Wright.
Good morning, Pastor. How you doing this morning?
Fine. You doing all right?
Yes, sir. Interesting show this morning, Pastor. You make some very, very valid points with the judicial system as it relates to us. I mean, this has been exploded as a big deal, but these are things that we have been going through in this city, not in other states, but in this city for the last 10 or 11 years. And so, God has a way of allowing to get our attention. And hopefully this is what's going to do it. We should have already been protesting and marching for years and years about how the judicial system does it. And it amazes me how it always takes somebody from another state to get our attention. And we go through this on a daily basis. Maybe 6 or 7 years ago, everybody went to Jenna 6 to Louisiana to stand up for those young African-American boys down there who were wrong in what they did. Because one of them even came down there and got in more trouble. But anyway, they left there, but at the same time in East Texas, in a little town called Silver Springs, there was an African-American man that got drugged in a pickup truck, drugged the nose off his face because he had a white girlfriend. And we overlooked that to go to Louisiana to find out that whatever happened in Louisiana, if it had been reversed, they would have been in trouble. So sometimes God has a way of, and hopefully this will get our attention. But at the end of the day, Pastor, if you respect yourself, you can demand respect from somebody else.
Yeah, well. You know what? I like I said, hats off to you, Peter, and many others that have fought for the local people right here in town. There are many people right now sitting at home wondering why did they not come out and help me in my situation when I lost my son, or daughter, or whatever. But we have to wait till it's a national story and our national leaders tell us to go out and march, yes. But if they're coming together, if they are going to hold the march, and if they're going to hold this rally, I'm just glad to see them try say they're doing something. I know it's hypocrisy, but it's a sad situation that we don't stand up for so many issues that are local. But at the same time, I'm not gonna rain on the parade with this. I want this to be a success because I want this generation. This is why I want this generation of young people to wake up. I want this generation of young people to realize what is not really what it was like 50 years ago, 60 years ago, because it was so much worse then. 10 million times worse than it is now. But they are facing something that they didn't, and most of them never thought they would face. And I want their parents to wake up to realize you should have taught your young a lot better. You should have raised them differently to make them aware of their surroundings and where they are and what's going on this planet.
I got to put a plug right there for parents. That last word you just said, parents, is what the key was. Parents. There's no more parents. There's only a parent. And it's unfortunate, but this was a part of the attack was on the black man back in the 60s and 70s and 80s. And I say this all the time, then you have to indict the white man and the black woman. This was a part of destroying the black family.
Right.
The attack was on the black man first, now it's on the black son. And there's gonna. We went to a rally on Tuesday, and I take my hand out to the awesome women, but the majority of people that showed up at that rally were women, black mothers. Okay, where's the father? There's got to be a family. So we restore the black family. People always go through these changes. A woman can't raise a man, and some say they have, but that's exception. That is not the rule.
That's right.
Until we bring the family back together and demand, and teach them how to respect each other, we can demand it from other people. But right now, there's only a parent.
Well, and Rev, right, here's what you said. Remember, the civil rights movement. Ladies, you were there. Ladies, you had an intricate part, but it was led by black men.
Absolutely.
These were men. Real men that led the march, courageous men that stood up. It wasn't a whole lot of them, but they were men. They weren't not welcome in many churches across this nation, but they fought on anyhow. Do you realize there were only a handful of churches in America that would allow Dr. Martin Luther King in their pulpits? See, all of this, the saying how stabilizing the black church was, yeah, a handful was, but many of them didn't want him around.
Even here in Dallas.
Oh yeah.
Even here in Dallas, one of the main churches was as a matter of fact, I was so SM Wright's church didn't want Dr. King here, and he was told that the black folk here were doing fine. He needed, and this is the result of that statement.
Well, that person that was over the IMA at that time was a preacher by the name of E.C. Estelle. He was the pastor of St. John Baptist Church. S.M. Wright was not the head of the Interdenominational Ministry Alliance. I think Estelle died in 64. SM got it in 65. But this happened, I think, 62 or 63, that they didn't allow Dr. King in here. So that was a E.C. Estelle, not SM. Not saying that SM Wright was all the way in the corner with Dr. King by a long shot. But still, We make sure when we call in the name, we get it right. We want to get it right. So look here, I'm up against a break, and I'll be back in just one moment.
In Dallas, local partners and national nonprofit Connect to Compete have made available for residents digital skills training classes. Classes include basic internet searching, internet basics, computer basics, and more. Local residents are also eligible for programs that provide assistance for internet service and computers. For more information on internet classes at local libraries, their phone number is 1-855-387-9166 or on the web at everyoneon.org. This program is in partnership with Dallas Area Libraries, Connect to Compete, and the Ad Council.
When they're gone for good. This is Scott from KNON's Texas Blues Radio telling you don't miss out on some great blues. KNON's Texas Blues Radio Volume 5 Blues CD. It's a CD put together by real blues fans for real blues fans like you. Texas Blues Radio Volume 5 features great local blues from Michael J. and the Paul Bird Band, JJ and the Detonators, the Chris Watson Band, the Two Tones, Rough Cut Blues Band, Jeff Stone with Charlie Love, Dave Millsap, Sirloin and the Ass Kicking Machine, Tutu Jones, Blues Boy Bo, Buddy Whittington, Andrea Dawson, Kirkland James, Sonny Colley, and Johnny Red and the Roosters. Get a copy now at Forever Young Records in Grand Prairie, Recordtown in Fort Worth, and in Dallas at Bill's Records. This is a Dallas Blues collector's item. A very limited amount of vinyl copies can be found at Forever Young Records, the sponsor of this great blues project. CD downloads are available at cdbaby.com. Whether you get it as a download, on vinyl, or on CD, all the proceeds will benefit KNON. For more info on Texas Blues Radio Volume 5, visit knon.org.
Concealed handgun license classes are available from Total Precision Shooting. Total Precision Concealed Handgun Licensing offers training for new concealed handgun licenses, renewal of existing handgun licenses, and skilled marksmanship shooting. For more information, 214-395-6852 or on the web at TotalPrecisionShooting.com. KNON thanks Total Precision Shooting for their support of Church and Information Forum with Marion Barnett, heard every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 89.3 FM. Concealed handgun license classes are available now. TotalPrecisionShooting.com or 214-395-6852 for more information.
All right, we're back on Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. Clint, Doc, producing this morning. They're holding the fort down for us. And you can call us at 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. Want to know, what do you think? What about the decision? Let's go to line 4 and say good morning to Sherry. All righty? Good morning, Sherry. Is Sherry there? Oh, is she gone? Okay, let's go to line 1 and say good morning to Michael. All righty? Good morning.
Hey, I hope you can hear me good. I'm on a cell phone. There's a little bit of wind.
Mm-hmm. Go right ahead. I can hear you.
Oh, great. Good. I'm glad. I really support this rally they're having today. I'm going to show up, partly because I went to a thing Wednesday night at Lincoln High School. And these people are really reaching out to all races, all ages, especially the young people. They have a sense of history. The main thing that really struck me when I went there is there are a couple of really big guys from the new Black Panther Party, and I approached them kind of slowly, and I said, y'all here for security purposes or here for the demonstration, thinking they might be, the guardian angel type guys. And the guy gave me the biggest, warmest smile I've ever seen. And it really
Michael,
came from God.
did that surprise you?
No, sir. It didn't.
Michael, let me ask you something. Are you a white man?
Well, I'm scared of security guards, and
but are you a white man?
I'm mixed race, but
you look white.
And actually, I'm like Obama. I'm black.
Okay,
but I was raised white.
Because wait 1 minute. Let me say something. This is one of the problems we're having in America.
Oh no, you got me wrong.
No. Wait a minute.
Wrong. I'm scared of security guards. I'm scared of authority and security guards. So my delicate approach was because of his size. The point I'm trying to make is this guy in the new Black Panther Party is has a wisdom that George Zimmerman did not have. George Zimmerman was such an idiot that he took his duty as a security guard to go and chase down. Are you still there?
I'm here.
Oh, good. I did not. I'm hearing my own voice echoing. Sorry, sir. Okay. George Zimmerman decided to chase down and murder somebody because he thought that person was bad. Well, this person looked at me and he says, well, this guy is small. He's white. He gave me the biggest smile that I've ever seen. What surprised me was a security guard was that good a man on the inside. So the new Black Panther Party has security guards that are kind to the core. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for your call and coming. But one of the things in America, if you're not a black male, you may not understand what I'm talking about. When you walk, it's true. When I walk on the elevator, when any of us walk on the elevator, white women on that elevator, first thing they're going to do is secure their purses. Like we're going to snatch their purses and run or do something. I did it here. I guess it was sometime in 2012. I walked on the elevator in downtown, and the lady just grabbed her purse. She was so shaken and trembling, and I was looking at her, and I realized she was frightened because I'm a black man walking on an elevator. There was a good chance I had more money than she did. But it's just a perception. When you say or see black male, everything goes negative. And not only with white people, with a lot of black people. You say black male, things go negative. Why? Because the perception of black males is so bad. President Obama's speech last night left a lot of racist sort of elevated, to my opinion, because when he talked about blacks in crime and our high crime rate, he didn't give you the real stats. Most crimes in America, the far biggest majority of crimes in America, violent crimes, are committed by white males, not black males. There are disproportionately high number of black males that commit crime, but the majority, more than likely, if you or anybody is going to be mugged on the street or robbed, it will probably be a white male, not a black male. But not if you look at the perception of what's going on. You would never dream that. All righty. Y'all tell me where am I? Which one's green? 4. Let's go to Billy on line 4. All righty. Good morning, Billy. Is 4 working today? I don't know. It looks like everybody we get on 4 is... Hello, Billy. Are you there? All right, Billy's gone. All right, let's go to 1, Reverend Moss. See if 1.
Good morning.
Good morning, Reverend Moss.
How you doing?
Good morning.
Yeah, good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, back to that same old board again. If I'm like you, what you said a while ago. If Trayvon had killed him, they'd have had his execution already set.
They might have killed him right out there in those apartments.
Black.
Yeah.
He's black. Let me say this here. You notice whenever blacks get together and want to have a meeting and talk about stuff, why is it that the white media got to be in the church televising it?
Well, that's because they allow that, and many times their meetings aren't sincere. They just want to get the sensationalism by being on TV instead of being back that trailer, really trying to take care of business.
Yes.
That's
right.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, back in the day, you remember Reverend Kirby Home?
Yes.
He was the first one that had Martin Luther King here in Fort Worth.
That's right.
And he was on radio. But he didn't have a real good education. He didn't speak too well. But he spoke what he believed in.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And he had convictions in his speech, though. Such great convictions. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and if we had men, we need men. We need black men with their pants pulled up, the shirt tail tucked in, standing up, being bold and free and gone. We need black men. We don't need no black boys trying to run nothing. We need black men.
Now, I'd love to see black boys out there because they're young, they're energetic, and if you got a young, energetic young man that's willing to listen and learn from the elders around them, you got yourself something great. Got great. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah.
We need that, you know. And, anytime that a black man kill a white man or a white person, it don't make no difference.
No.
You got a white defense attorney,
yes,
and you got a white, the other attorney.
Mm-hmm.
So you really don't have nobody fighting in your behalf. You know, if they were really, I think most...
Well, now, excuse me, not cutting you off. The persons that was over the prosecution, the person that ran that whole thing, that's a black woman. She's the same woman that gave the black woman, Miss Armstrong, there in Jacksonville, Florida, 20 years for firing a warning shot. This black woman is over that.
Yeah.
Is over that system. Their system in Florida is a little bit different from Texas, but it's the same thing coming down. The sister was pregnant, been beaten by her husband, mistreated, abused. She didn't shoot him.
No.
She shot into the ceiling to stop him. And she got 20 years. And in fact, they took her to jail 9 days after she had given birth to their child.
Yeah, you see.
And see, you're gonna have to understand. Everybody that look like you is not your friend.
That's right. Sometimes we as color are more dangerous to our own self than we are anybody else.
Yeah, well, we seek to appease others. That is so true. All right, thank you, Reverend Moss.
Thank you. Okay.
You have a good day.
You too.
972-647-1893 is the number to call. Let's try Shaquita on line 4. Let's see if line 4 is working. Good morning, Shaquita. I don't think that line is working there. Try to put it on the air. You got it on the air. I just hard for me to believe everybody that call that line hangs up. Yeah, on it. All right, 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 3 and say good morning to Dr. Edwards. All righty. Good morning, Doc.
Rev Barnett, how you doing?
Great, man. How you doing this morning?
Oh, I had this was a rough week for me. I mean, it was a rough week. I felt in a sense kind of like Trayvon that he's dead, but I went back and talked to my wife about it, and I was talking about I said, honey, when I went to med school and got out, I was just going back home to help my people, and I got ambushed on the way back home because I was going to do something right. Nothing wrong. It's been a hard week for me. It really has.
You know what, Doc? But I was listening the other night. A guy brought up our healthcare system on. I think it was on MSNBC. I think it's one of it was either that. What's that? 202. CNN. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, one of the things that happened, Reverend, is if you look around, it's not a lot of talk about it. That $2.3 trillion that we spend in the healthcare system, we've got some powerful people that will not let a lot of things come forward. And healthcare is really one of them. They make everything look like it's all beauty and sweet, but the killing of that young fella is just the jury. I thought about mine is sort of similar, but I didn't want to get on here and make a big deal out of it.
No, but our healthcare system, Doc, is tied into this whole thing about our annihilation.
Yeah, well, if they wouldn't give me a trial by jury, what a citizen of the United States cannot get a trial by jury just because he's a doctor. I shouldn't be penalized because I'm a doctor. Because
you're a black doctor.
Because
I guarantee you, them white doctors, if they had a case similar to yours, would get one.
Absolutely, and it has. But call me after this. I'm going to give you a call after your program because I've got some good for you. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
All right, I'll talk to you later, Doc. All right, 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893, line 4. All right, we're going to see if it's working. All right, let's see. Who do
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Who do I have? Clint?
Yeah, you have me.
All right. Well, you're on the air, but I guess
so
everybody else
calling. 3 callers
calling.
in a row. Hang up on line 4.
Yeah. Well, obviously they were playing in. Okay, that's awfully rare. Okay. All right, thank you. 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. Let's go to Marcus on line 2. All right, let's try 2. All right. Good morning, Marcus. Marcus is not there? All right, let's go to line 1 and say good morning to Shelley. Good morning.
Reverend.
Good morning, Shelley.
Reverend, it's Shelley.
All right.
I'm a 51-year-old white female, and I just wanted to make a comment about your statement about getting on the elevator.
Mm-hmm.
And from the white female standpoint, I'll just tell you honestly, it would just be any male, not just a black male or a white male or any kind of male. I mean, if you're a female, you're much more vulnerable. You can't stand up and defend yourself. So
you really believe that they don't grip their purses. Usually they grip their purses when white men get on the elevator with them.
No, I'm just saying, as a white female, when I get on the elevator with a white man or a black man, I get concerned a little bit because now I don't grip my purse like you're talking about, but I do get a little concerned because I'm vulnerable. If I don't have any way to defend myself, I'm physically not as vulnerable.
So you saying you're afraid of all men?
Well, in a closed environment, if one woman on one man, I'm a little threatened by any man.
You tell me when you get on the executive and downtown with some of those executives down there, you see those fellows getting on, you get scared.
A little bit, yeah.
Shelley,
yeah.
That's hard to believe. It's hard to believe. There have been so much negative. There has been so much negative talk about black men when black men do not commit the majority of crimes in America, that people just have an innate fear of black men. And it was done really basically by a racist white media that has done this. And what we've got to fight against. What George Zimmerman was a victim of our society. When he saw Trayvon, he just saw this black male walking in the rain with his hoodie on, which is not a crime. And it's really good sense to cover your head when it's raining. And he provided within his own mind a system of thinking that this young man has got to be a criminal because he's walking here and he's black. So he targeted him and ended up killing him. And then you allowed 5 white females and a Hispanic lady to turn him loose, turn this killer loose again.
Well, Reverend, Trayvon was on top of him and beat him and broke his nose. So is he?
Do we really know that? We're taking his we're taking his word. Now listen. Had he never approached Trayvon, would any of this ever happen?
Absolutely not.
Thank you. Then he calls this. He calls this by his own racist ideas about he targeted this young man. He calls this. The young man didn't bother him. He admits
I couldn't agree more. He caused it. But Reverend, can you let me speak?
Go right ahead.
Thank you, sir. I think absolutely Zimmer caused this. It's a tragedy. No question about it. When the young man's on top
I tell you what, I put her on hold. I want to give her an opportunity to speak, but we're up against a short break, and you remain right there. We're going to let you talk after the break because I want you not go off and say I didn't let you talk. So we'll be right back.
GoodSearch.com provides a way for you to support nonprofits like KNON with your online shopping and dining. GoodSearch.com offers a downloadable toolbar for searching from your computer called Good App, so your purchases can go to support KNON. With Good Dining, every time you go out to eat at participating restaurants, then a portion of what you spend gets donated to KNON. Registering is easy at GoodSearch.com, and Knon 89.3 is the name to enter in your account settings for charity selection. Support KNON with your online shopping and dining at GoodSearch.com.
The National Singing Quartet Convention of America, in Denomination Incorporated, August 4th to the 10th, making glorious music all week long at the Greater Macedonia Primitive Baptist Church, 8343 Pullman Road in Dallas. Reverend Terrence A. Ford, Senior Pastor, starting Sunday night at 7:30. It's the Delegates Musical. Monday is the Prayers Breakfast and Men's Day. Tuesday is Youth Day and the Angel of the Airways Showcase Luncheon. Wednesday is Founders Night. Thursday is Reunion Night. Friday is Women's Day and the R.H. Harris Memorial Concert at 7:30 at the Greater Macedonia Primitive Baptist Church, starring the Whitney Singers, the Mighty Travelers, the Selby Singers, Buddy and the Straight Way Travelers, Brotherly Love, and the Sensational Harmonizers. The National Singing Quartet Convention of America, in Denomination Incorporated, August 4th through the 10th. Groups, choirs, vendors, and registration information 214-375-8151. The deadline is July 15th. Tickets are available at the church every day from 10 a.m. to 12 noon.
Concealed handgun license classes are available from Total Precision Shooting. Total Precision Concealed Handgun Licensing offers training for new concealed handgun licenses, renewal of existing handgun licenses, and skilled marksmanship shooting. For more information, 214-395-6852 or on the web at TotalPrecisionShooting.com. KNON thanks Total Precision Shooting for their support of Church and Information Forum with Marion Barnett, heard every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 89.3 FM. Concealed handgun license classes are available now. TotalPrecisionShooting.com or 214-395-6852 for more information.
I'm excited. Hi, I'm E.L. Robinson here, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited about a big KNON gospel benefit coming Saturday, July 27 to the Sunlight Missionary Baptist Church in South Dallas. I will be your host for this glorious evening of praise and song featuring the Holy Ghost Travelers, Freedom for All Choir, Reverend Eddie Finley, the Sunlight Choir, Letitia Johnson, Regina Cornelius, and Evangelist Sandra K. Haley, and many, many, many others.
It is a free event. There is no ticket required. Free spaghetti dinner at 5 p.m. The program starts at 6 p.m. An offering will be taken to support your number one gospel radio station, KNON 89.3 FM, the voice of the people. The Sunlight Missionary Baptist Church is located at 2308 Cooper in Dallas. For more information, call 214-732-8908 or go to KNON.org. That's a big KNON Gospel Benefit Event, Saturday, July 27th at the Sunlight Missionary Baptist Church on Dallas' sunny South Side.
All right, we're back on Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host, and along with Doc and Clint, they're here producing. And you can reach us at 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. Let's go back to Shelley on line one. Let's see, Shelley. Shelley, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
All right, go right ahead.
Well, I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity. I just want you all to see a different point of view. And, you know, you accused me of not telling you the truth. You said I just don't believe that you look at the white man on the elevator as the same as the black man on the elevator. And I'm telling you, I do. It's a physical issue that I'm smaller than they are. And so, you know, I just want you to see a different point of view. I have no reason to lie to you.
All right. Now, you say you fear all men, right?
In certain circumstances, when there's no one else around, I'm one-on-one with any man, Hispanic, black, white, Asian.
Mm-hmm. And you grab your purse and hold on to it tight when a man come on the elevator with you. Hello?
I think women.
Hello? Are you there? All right, let's go on. I guess we lost that call. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. 972-647-1893. Where are we, on 3? All right, let's say good morning to Ike. All righty, good morning, Ike.
Good morning, Rev Barnett.
Yeah, thank you for waiting so long. Thank you, Ike.
I know, it's no problem. Just want to touch a few things real quick. On, that I was listening to the lady, and she does has a different perspective now, but it makes me think that's what these prosecutors went through in this trial, to pick out those kind of people with that perspective. But that everything
you
is
and I
right.
have been living both over 60 years. And I've seen going on elevators, white women just as comfortable until I woke on.
I know that's why
everybody gets all shaky and everything.
Yeah, I went through the same thing with my son's trial, but they picked out basically an all white jury, somebody who wouldn't even in my son's generation that has that. They had that outlook of what young black boys are like or whatever. But I want to say this about Reverend Wright. Reverend Wright is doing a great job, and I feel his frustrations and pain because all the demonstrations and protests that he done did here in our own city to try to help us, you don't get the kind of support. But time the TV cameras are rolling, these big name guys, I'm not going to call anybody's name, but they show up and they want everybody to do certain things, but we got some big issues right here in our own city.
Right.
And if there's something happen, I'm not trying to throw salt on anybody, but there's something go wrong with this situation with Craig Watkins. You can get Al Sharpton down here then, but when there's Darius Ewing or Brian Steen, we can't get anybody to come down here because we no-name people. But now, I'm going to say this, but if you watch on the front cover of Time magazine, they got a picture of a hoodie with nobody in it saying after Trayvon. Well, what they're trying to say is move on. I haven't read the article.
I'm so glad you brought that up. All right, since the verdict, not since the death of Trayvon, but since the verdict, a white man has shot and killed a 13-year-old boy. Since the verdict after Trayvon, a 45-year-old white man in Jacksonville, Florida, shot and killed a 17-year-old black boy.
Right.
I mean, their killings are still going on. Now, the media is not covering it. The 17-year-old was killed because he pulled into a gas station. They both were getting gas and had his music too loud, and the white man didn't like it. And he said something to him. The black boy kept playing the music. He shot and killed him. Have you heard that in the media?
I don't hear. Nope, you're not going. Well, let me ask you how you heard this in the media. Reverend Wright had a meeting down there, had a press conference talking about the Darius Ewing case. It aired on Channel 5 one time. Nobody else ever showed it, and you can't even pull it up on the internet. And most news articles, you can see them on the internet at least. So I'm saying is once he showed up on TV with that family and black men standing behind him, ready to stand up and be black men, they don't want that kind of media don't cover that.
No,
they want to
that's
show
right.
us dropping it like it's hot or somewhere cussing or breaking in stores. You notice when there's a robbery or a theft or a murder at some of these stores or something, they always seem to have a video of the black man that done it. They got the same cameras there when white folks do something.
Yeah.
But, that's what's going on in our city. And I'm going to get off and let somebody else on the air.
And I thank
but
you.
until we start standing up, local, I mean, it's good to stand up for Trayvon Martin. It's good to stand up about the Gina 6. But we got stuff going on right here that some of our locals haven't even addressed. So God bless and keep up the good work.
All righty. Thank you, Ike. Thank you. And keep on fighting for your son. All righty. Thank you. All right. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Where are we going to 2? All righty. Let's say good morning to Tony. All righty. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, Rev Barnett.
Fine. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well.
Yes. What's on your mind?
But I wanted to give a perspective of the law. In America, I think many people are confused. Because the law says one thing, don't mean it's right. They put laws to have slavery. They still have laws in slavery in the 13th Amendment when you go to prison. And I think what happens is they hide behind the law, and in those laws are racist connotations and connotations are innuendos in them. The lady that you said earlier that got 20 years, right?
Yes.
I heard an argument on Bill Maher show last night. Republican from Florida said, well, in her case, you get the facts of the case, she left and came back. That's why she got 20 years. So when we throw that argument up in front of their face about the woman who got 20 years, they'll come back and say, well, the facts of the case are different than Trayvon Martin. And the facts of the case of the gentleman, like you said earlier, the young boy who listened to his music before the boys in the car, this man get mad, get out of his car, and shoot him dead.
Yeah.
And what I think it is, people have the perception that if it's in a law that is just and pure, and the reality is our laws are put in by men, and then we judge those laws based on certain bias.
Right.
Like you said, like you said, there's already a preconceived notion about black men and throughout the culture of America. So most whites don't look at that as saying, okay, I'm not being racist. I'm just judging based on what the law says.
Well, this is why I don't allow them to put that jive off on me that the prosecution didn't prove their case. I'm going to tell you why. Because had it been vice versa, with the same amount of evidence, with the same of everything being equal as the trial came down, I guarantee you Trayvon would have been found guilty.
I'm going to agree with y'all. And that was President Obama said in the last part of his speech. He said if Trayvon was 18 and had a gun, could that same law benefit him? And the thing is, and the reality is this: for all the whites, the argument would be is Bill Simmons was correct in what he did, so it has to be correct for Trayvon too. And like you said, the lady said, "Well, he got beat up." There's only one man standing. The fact that this is the fact of the case: an innocent boy, a young man, died, and Zimmerman killed him. Now, you cannot say he murdered him because the law says it, but the reality is he did kill that boy, and that's the fact that no one can take away from the case.
That's right.
And so my thing is, we need to put it as a law as being perfect. So there are a whole lot of laws in place that are biased and racist. Period.
Well, remember now, those laws, the constitutionality of this was written for us. We were not even considered human beings. We were only considered 3/5 human. We were just a step above a horse or a cow. That's why we were chattel slaves. We were just like a horse or a cow. And you have to understand, all laws are subject to interpretation.
Exactly.
And when you have subjected them to interpretation, then they're interpreted to interpretation by race.
Yes.
And quite naturally, if you're going to interpret them by race, by putting on jurors who do not look like that person that's being accused, quite naturally, you've got the court stacked against you. Here's a town that have a large number of blacks in it. It's quite a few blacks that's in this little town in Florida, and you could not find one African American serve on the jury. Could not find one. An all white jury, one Hispanic. You couldn't serve one. And then the lady, what's the number? What was it, number 36 or number 39, whatever? She got on to let you know she had her mind made up before the trial ever started.
Hey, Rev Barnett, one thing I want to add to this. That lady's husband was a lawyer.
Right.
I don't know if you know that.
Oh yes, I know this. And he had this was all planned. They're gonna write a book, convict him, and write them a book and make plenty of money.
And so my argument would be is, can you change the based on, because you have a tenant, a juror? Is there some way that we can get that way to get it overturned, because or at least have another trial, because
the feds could try it. I don't know if the feds can be. I don't know if Holder can win this case or not. I sure hope he can. I hope he files. But this is just injustice all the way, and it's there to serve us, to wake us up. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. I got. Can I take about a minute to? Okay, get which one? One. Let's go to who I have on one. Audrey. All righty, Audrey. Good morning, Audrey.
Good morning, and thank you for taking my call. There's a couple things I want to say. I think on The View, Whoopi Goldberg made a very good point to the defense attorney when they had them on the show. One was that if your hand was released and you're a man, a grown man, and you're fighting a child, why couldn't you have punched him instead of shooting him? To me, that would have been an act of basically defending yourself, because even if Trayvon did have a gun, he's still a young kid, and if you're old enough, you should be able to overpower him and basically get him off of you. I really think that Trayvon was kicking his butt, and he got scared, and he couldn't handle him, and that's why he shot him, because you would want to not harm someone if you can prevent it. I think he could have basically punched him like Whoopi said.
Okay, this is where that stand your ground law kicks in Florida. Really, if he's getting whipped, he should have broken and ran. He should have run. He should have run away. But he didn't. He killed him. And that stand your ground, which they said not a part of this particular proceeding, obviously that's not true, because the juror, she told you, they discussed stand your ground while they were there. Sequestered, while they were deliberating the trial, they dealt with stand your ground. So go right ahead.
And Reverend, truthfully, I don't think I'm a professional engineer, been working for 35 years in the corporate America. I really give President Obama kudos for coming out and making a stand as a black president and a black American. But truthfully, in my world that I see as a black professional female, the race relation is going to always be here. We're going to always have issues. We got extreme black people who are against black people. And we're going to always have issues where race is not going to go away. Let me just give you two personal examples. As a professional black woman living in Highland Park, I lived there in that area for 15 years.
You live where?
Church there in Highland Park, Texas.
Huh?
I lived in that neighborhood with Johnny Cash and all the football and basketball players that we see at one another.
In Highland Park?
Yes, in Highland Park. And so my reason I bring that up is that I am a member of a church there, at a Presbyterian church. I've been there for 20 years. Do you know I still, with me and my two daughters, when we sit down sometimes, a white woman could clutch her purse sitting beside us like, I'm going to take it. And I've been in that church for 20 years. So I don't think it's going to, and this is not the same.
Well, she figured the maid was steal. Don't you know that? She don't.
Well,
yeah, she figures you're a maid out there. Yeah, come on now. In Highland Park, let's be for real.
Let's go on the other side of town. I have been visiting other churches. I've gone to Gateway churches.
I tell you, look like every time I hit the hour, I got a woman on. Put her on hold. And I want to hear the rest of this, and all of you are holding on the line. I got some guests coming in, but all our lines are jammed. But we'll get them on when we can. All right, we'll be right back.
You are listening to KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Representative Jim Himes says it's appalling. He was talking about the money that special interests stuff in the pockets of our lawmakers. It's disgusting, and it opens the possibility of conflicts of interest and corruption, he added. So, naturally, he promptly joined the disgusting system that has turned our capital into a wide-open bazaar for buying and selling legislative favors. It's unfortunately the world we live in, the Connecticut Democrat shrugged. Even though Himes is only in his third term, he's become an aggressive trader in this bazaar, heading up fundraising for his fellow Democrats in the U.S. House. Why him? One, as a member of the committee that oversees Wall Street, he can attract campaign cash like honey attracts flies, especially when big banks are lobbying furiously to get exemptions from legislation that restricts some of their destructive profiteering. Two, Himes has proven to be a trusted ally of the wheeler-dealer bankers, supporting their dereg bills. And three, he's one of them, having been made a millionaire as a Goldman Sachs banker. Republicans are totally in Wall Street's pocket, but Democrats are sinking into it too. With the admirable exception of Representative Maxine Waters and a handful of other Dems who stood with consumers, most Democrats on the committee joined every Republican member in May to do the bank lobby's bidding. 6 days later, Himes' fundraising operation arranged for the 7 freshman Democrats on the committee, each of whom had stood with the bankers, to trek up to the heights of Wall Street for a personal bonding session with the CEOs of Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan Chase. Thus are forged the ties that bind. This is Jim Hightower saying, hey, Democrats, don't just deplore this corrupt system. Stand with us to overthrow it. To learn how, go to www.publiccampaign.org.
Yo, what's up? I'ma kick it with mine, y'all know. Yo, Slim, can I kick it like this? Here we go. Well, it's time to make that change. People of the world today are fading. All of us have our ups and downs. You better think about it or you won't be around. What we need is a little bit of love, sent by one from heaven up above. Chicken for tea is simple and plain. This ain't no game, you know what I'm saying? What? It's time. Yep. Time to make the change. Here we go. We are the people who can do it. Oh yeah. It's time. Time to make the change. We are the people who can do it.
Yo, Mom. All right, we back for segment number 2, the second hour on Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. We got some guests in here, the studios this morning. We're going to talk to them in just a few minutes. All of our lines are still jammed, but we're going to talk to them in a few minutes. But bring, who did I have on? Was it Audrey? Yeah, see if Audrey is still there. Audrey, are you there? Audrey, going once, going twice. Audrey is gone. All righty. Let's go to line 2 and say good morning to Tina. All righty. Tina, are you there?
Yes, I am here. How are you, Reverend?
Fine. How are you this morning?
I'm doing very well. I've been in Texas for just about 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And when I came to Texas, I'm from Detroit, Michigan. And when I came to Texas, I didn't know too much about racism because I grew up on a block with a little bit of everybody on it, okay?
What city do you grow up in, Michigan?
Detroit, the city of Detroit, the west side.
You didn't know about racism in Detroit?
No, I didn't. I was young, but
okay.
The white people were different. They handled you in a way. If they didn't like you, they still took care of business in a professional way. Okay, they didn't bring it out like they do here. However, I do have boys. I have 6 boys, and when that tragedy happened in Jasper, Texas, when the young man was dragged. Remember that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that scared me so bad. I got all of my boys out of Texas. It was terrifying. It really was. And for this to happen to Trayvon, and it seems like it's acceptable, and it's not acceptable with our black men. It's like you guys are endangered species because. Well,
I tell you what, there have been a lot of things that brutality against black females too.
Yes, it has.
We as a people are targeted, and we're going to have to understand this. That we need to learn to stand up, protect ourselves, make sure that we stay together, get together, and stick together, because this is something that. Other people don't let go. In fact, here sitting in the studio, I have some people that's remembering Santos Rodriguez. This happened, what was that, 73? That's been 40 years ago. They wasn't even born when this happened, although I knew Officer Kane. I used to see him every day. He patrolled the area where I was living off of Cedar Springs during that time. But they still will not allow this to pass, where a policeman could play Russian roulette with in the backseat of his squad car with a little Hispanic boy and blow his brains out. And but see, many times we have a 10-day memory, if that long. We let things happen, then we let things go. And it's sad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. But if my thing is that they told Mr. Zimmerman to leave Trayvon alone and go about his business. Leave him alone.
Right.
Let him go. Now, he took it upon himself to be judge and jury.
Mm-hmm. And executioner.
An executioner. I don't understand. They didn't bring that up at all. They told him to let him go. Leave him alone. Leave him alone and let him go about his way.
Mm-hmm. Well, they said we don't need you to follow him, but they had a squad car on the way, and they were ready. But all of this get overlooked. Don't give me this case about the state, the prosecutors didn't prove the case, because reverse the roles, Trayvon would have been found guilty in the first degree and would have been up for capital murder. So
why didn't they have one black person on the jury? Just one.
Well, the police didn't even arrest this guy.
Exactly.
So I mean,
I feel for his mother.
He went home with his gun.
Really do.
Yeah, and they showed his gun. They got his gun back now. But I thank you for your call. All righty.
Thank you, and God bless his parents. I really pray for them every day.
Well,
thank you.
That juror said she was praying for Zimmerman as well as Trayvon. But although Trayvon is dead, oh God.
Right.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All righty. Gentlemen, I'd like to introduce this morning. Could y'all introduce yourselves? Could you bring them on? Remembering Santos Rodriguez. Those who have a line, just hang on. We're coming to you. Remembering Santos Rodriguez. All righty. Could you tell us who you are?
Yes. Hi, my name's Ariel Valenzuela.
All righty.
And I'm Des from the Brown Berets.
All righty. You're remembering Trayvon. What? Explain what's going on.
Okay.
Who was you remember Santos? I'm sorry. Tell us who was Santos.
Yes. So Santos Rodriguez was a 12-year-old boy that lived in the Little Mexico neighborhood here in Dallas in 1973. Him and his 15-year-old brother were picked up by police officer Daryl Kane, and at that time that they were picked up, they were interrogated by Kane in his police vehicle. They were interrogated at gunpoint. What Daryl Kane did was he played Russian roulette with the boy, and then killed him there in his squad car. July 24th will mark the 40th anniversary, the 40 years since this had happened. So what we want to do is we came together a coalition headed by Rick Halperin of the Embry's Human Rights Program at SMU, and a bunch of us came together, and we wanted to do something to commemorate.
40 years later.
Yes.
Yes, I was staying there on 3200 block of Carlisle. That's right off of Cedar Springs there. And Kane, this was Kane's area. This was his beat. Little Mexico over there off of Harry Hines there. And I remember when it happened, just like it happened 2 seconds ago. It was sad. That was an outcry. That was a march. Although this has been 40 years, y'all still are not letting it go. You bearing in remembrance this has happened. But let me show you something about certain things. The very next year, 2 young men, little boys, came out of a creek down off of Polk Street, walked into a restaurant that used to be right there, 67 in Polk, had some little pipes in there. They'd been down there fishing off the creek. Walked in there, and then he was not an undercover. He was a plainclothes police officer. Was a friend to the lady that owned the particular business, this particular restaurant. They walked in and was using the water fountain. He took his gun out and shot and killed both of those boys, the Johnson boys. I'll never forget it. Very little was done about this. But y'all are still remembering what happened to Santos Rodriguez. And I commend you on that. Don't let things die, because if you allow them to pass and never challenge, they will repeat themselves. These things will repeat themselves. So you're going to have at 10 a.m. a ritual service, a press conference commemorating Santos Rodriguez. That's going to be at the Oakland Cemetery, 3900 block of Malcolm X.
Yes.
Is that where he's buried?
Yes, it is.
I never knew that. I didn't know that's where they buried him. Okay, this is July 24th. That's on a Wednesday at 10 a.m. All right, 6 p.m. discuss panel by the Mexican American Historical League. The struggle of Mexican American civil rights in Dallas from 1920 through 2012. Latino Cultural Center, that's 2600 Live Oak. That's on the 24th also.
Yes, it is. That's
Alrighty.
a community panel that's going to be hosted by the Dallas Mexican American Historical League.
Alrighty. And then on the 27th, that's Saturday, 6:30 p.m., Remembering Santos Rodriguez, Santos Community Event. This will be at Pike Peak on Harry Hines and Hunt Street.
Yes.
All righty. Okay. And you're going to be calling a rally. What kind of support do y'all get from young Latinos? What kind of support? Are they participating? Are they interested in what has happened over the years, the plight of Latinos in Dallas, Texas?
Yes, we're receiving a lot of support. We're seeing that a lot of people here in Dallas were the younger generation have been unaware of what happened to Santos. So when learning about his story and what Daryl Kane did to him, we have been receiving a lot of outreach regarding what had happened to Santos, and a lot of participation, people wanting to be involved, wanting to spread the word of his story.
What about the sentencing of Kane? Have y'all told him about that?
Yes, and justice has not been served. Yes, he was convicted. He was convicted of murder. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Mm-hmm. After 2.5 years, he was released for good behavior.
That's right. He only served 2.5 years for laboring a little child. In fact, his brains were spreaded all over the back seat of that squad car. It was squirted. He took the gun. At that time, the Dallas Police Department was using, they might still be using, 44 Magnums, the most powerful handgun in the world. Blowed his head off. And he gets out in 2.5 years. And really, there were many who was trying to push that he would not serve any time. Some didn't even want him fired. Wow. Y'all need to learn a lot about what's going on. This is not only Dallas. This happened all over America. This has happened. I'm glad y'all are young men. How old are you?
I'm 32.
No, you wasn't born. How old are you, young man?
26.
Oh, my God. Y'all wasn't even thought of when it's happened. But you are. See, Daryl Kane would be, about 52 years old now, had he lived. This is something that I'm glad to see young men like you carrying it on. You picked up the baton and still running with it. You need to really push hard, because this is something that should never be forgotten, the way this came down. He's back there in the backseat playing Russian roulette with this young boy's life.
Well, he was handcuffed, and his brother was watching also.
Yeah.
So, his brother watched his younger brother get murdered,
Yeah, he had to bear witness to this. Yeah. Have y'all talked to his brother? Is he still alive?
No, we have not.
We haven't. Yes, he is still alive. We have not spoken with him.
Does he live here in Dallas?
We're not sure if he does or not. We have spoken with a couple of our coalition members have spoken with his mother.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that struck us as inexcusable is that the city has yet to apologize for the murder of Santos.
They didn't pay them for that? Did they get paid?
That we do not know. We know that they have not apologized.
They never apologized for what Kane did?
No.
I mean, it's so sad. This was just horrible. Just to think, had this been an African American officer or a Hispanic officer that blow the little white boy's brains out like that, I don't know if he never would have made it to downtown Dallas. They would have wiped him out right there. And this is so sad, and it still goes on in America with people of color. So you have not talked to the brother that. He would be a heck of a person to interview. He was an eyewitness. He was right there, sitting there watching Kane play Russian roulette with his little brother. And to see him killed like that. And the city of Dallas have never said anything about it?
No, and I believe it was 1992, the mayor did offer a proclamation, and we're attempting to receive a proclamation from the current mayor. However, they've declined, and they've basically told us that that the city doesn't offer proclamations. So what we're doing now, we're petitioning to receive a proclamation from the mayor. We do want the city to take responsibility for what happened to Santos Rodriguez.
Is his mother still living?
Yes, she is.
So the family is still around?
Yes, they are.
And you don't know if they've ever received anything from the city of Dallas?
We do not know.
Wow. This is really sad. This is so sad. I tell you what, let's take some calls. Who we have next? Get me line 4. Is that Reverend Crenshaw? All right, give me good morning, Rev. How are you? Is he still there? He might be gone. All right. Get me, who do I have on? Get me Marcus on line 2. Is he still there? Marcus, you there?
Hello?
Go right ahead, Marcus.
Yes, I was just calling just to touch on a few things that you were saying that has been said about the Trayvon Martin case. I was listening to the lady earlier saying how Trayvon was on top of Zimmerman beating him. My thing would be, it should have never gotten that far. When the cops told him to stop, he should have stopped. I grew up in country town, real country town. You might have heard of it, Texarkana. And at the time I grew up, it was very, very racist there. Very racist. So another thing that we need to look at is teaching our kids. When Trayvon Martin spotted the guy following him, he knew he was on his way home. He hadn't done anything wrong. He had a cell phone. Teach your kids. Call home.
Well, in this situation, let's be honest now, he was talking to his girlfriend.
Okay, and I understand.
And in a time he didn't see, we don't know what this creep said to Trayvon. We don't know what Zimmerman first said. We don't know.
Right.
You never know what Zimmerman was really up to. We just saying he was a watchdog for the community. You never know. He come out of the dark talking to this boy. We don't know. This could not. It could have been some kind of perversion. We don't know really what came down. We only have Zimmerman's word. So I don't want to judge a young man like this that somebody come out of the dark, out of the wild blue yonder. See, calling home wouldn't have helped him in this situation because nobody was at the house but his 12-year-old brother. And that's why he didn't lead him to his house, I believe, because he had no other adult there at the house. So,
but not only call home, you're in a neighborhood, you're being followed. Dial 911, just like he dialed 911.
You think they will help him?
Well, I mean, they would have had him online, on phone saying, on record saying, this guy is following me.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I really don't want to overjudge him in that situation. But that could have been, it could have been on record. But to knowing what we know, they wasn't going to help him. Because they didn't even want, they were on their way. They were just seconds away. And when they got there, they didn't even arrest, they didn't put Zimmerman in in jail. They didn't even handcuff him. He walked in hands free. Then they turned around and let him go.
Right. But all I'm trying to say is, we as parents have to do better.
I agree with that.
We as parents have to do better. I have 2 grown boys, and then I have an 8-year-old. And at the time this what was going on, the first thing I did was call both of my sons and had them to turn the news on.
Yeah. Look here, I'm up against a short break, and I hate to cut it off. Good conversation, but we'll be back in just one moment.
In 2012, the Salvation Army sheltered 6,386 homeless men, women, and children, provided over 190,000 hours of substance abuse rehabilitation, and provided day camps and sports programs for needy children. They operated over 200 apartments for low-income seniors, and they provided over $400,000 in financial assistance to those in need. Chances are very good that you know someone who relied upon these services for shelter, recovery, or other forms of emergency help when life for them made a wrong turn. If you are in need, or to find out how you can help, 1-800-SALARMY. That's 1-800-725-2769, or on the internet at salvationarmyusa.org.
When they're gone for good. This is Scott from KNON's Texas Blues Radio telling you don't miss out on some great blues. KNON's Texas Blues Radio Volume 5 Blues CD. It's a CD put together by real blues fans for real blues fans like you. Texas Blues Radio Volume 5 features great local blues from Michael J. and the Paul Bird Band, JJ and the Detonators, the Chris Watson Band, the Two Tones, Rough Cut Blues Band, Jeff Stone with Charlie Love, Dave Millsap, Sirloin and the Ass Kicking Machine, Tutu Jones, Blues Boy Bo, Buddy Whittington, Andrea Dawson, Kirkland James, Sonny Colley, and Johnny Red and the Roosters. Get a copy now at Forever Young Records in Grand Prairie, Recordtown in Fort Worth, and in Dallas at Bill's Records. This is a Dallas Blues collector's item. A very limited amount of vinyl copies can be found at Forever Young Records, the sponsor of this great blues project. CD downloads are available at cdbaby.com. Whether you get it as a download, on vinyl, or on CD, all the proceeds will benefit KNON. For more info on Texas Blues Radio Volume 5, visit knon.org.
The National Singing Quartet Convention of America, Indenomination Incorporated, August 4th through the 10th, making glorious music all week long at the Greater Macedonia Primitive Baptist Church, 8343 Putin Road in Dallas. Reverend Terrence A. Ford, Senior Pastor, starting Sunday night at 7:30. It's the Delegates Musical. Monday is the Prayers Breakfast and Men's Day. Tuesday is Youth Day and the Angel of the Airways Showcase Luncheon. Wednesday is Founders Night. Thursday is Reunion Night. Friday is Women's Day and the R.H. Harris Memorial Concert at 7:30 at the Greater Macedonia Primitive Baptist Church, starring the Whitney Singers, the Mighty Travelers, the Selby Singers, Buddy and the Straightway Travelers, Brotherly Love, and the Sensational Harmonizers. The National Singing Quartet Convention of America, Indenomination Incorporated, August 4th through the 10th. Groups, choirs, vendors, and registration information, 214-375-8151. The deadline is July 15th. Tickets are available at the church every day from 10 a.m. to 12 noon.
Concealed handgun license classes are available from Total Precision Shooting. Total Precision Concealed Handgun Licensing offers training for new concealed handgun licenses, renewal of existing handgun licenses, and skilled marksmanship shooting. For more information, 214-395-6852 or on the web at totalprecisionshooting.com. KNON thanks Total Precision Shooting for their support of Church and Information Forum with Marion Barnett, heard every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 89.3 FM. Concealed handgun license classes are available now. TotalPrecisionShooting.com or 214-395-6852 for more information.
I'm Marion Barnett, your host. These two young men just showed me something that happened right under my nose here in Dallas. Maybe y'all have heard about it. A Rickett, Dallas police officer shot and killed a drunk teenager who they believe was burglarizing suspect in the Pleasant Grove area. And they found out that this was his parents' home. He was at home. And the police, I hadn't heard this over the news.
Yeah, his father had owned the property.
Huh?
His father owned the property that he was shot on.
Wow. Doc, you heard this over the news? A teenager shot on his own property.
Don't ask me, I've been out of town.
Now, these young men just showed me this. I'm looking at it on his phone. Is there some conspiracy to cover up these shootings? They're still happening.
Yeah, well, they certainly wouldn't like us to know about it. They would like to keep it hush.
Obviously so. Wow. Let's go to line 4 and say, is that Josephine? All right, say good morning to Josephine. Good morning, Josephine.
Yes, I just want to comment on Santos.
Mm-hmm.
I was there. I was in Dallas,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to the protest. Every Latino, what it seemed like that could walk, was in the city of Dallas, were there, and beyond, like Grand Prairie and other cities that surrounding, downtown Dallas, for the parade. I mean, for the protest. But what you're not mentioning that Kane killed 2 others before Santos running. He shot him in the back. I didn't even know about the first one. I knew about the second one, the one before Santos, because his mother was out there at the protest. She was screaming from her lungs that he had killed her son. And what happened with that one, he shot him in the back. He said that he was fleeing from him. And I think he was 18. And Kane said that he thought he saw something shiny. He thought it was a gun. And then they said it was his belt. I don't even think he had a belt. Something was, in the dark. He saw something like silver, the color of a gun or something like that. And that was his reason
for killing.
That he shot him in the back. Both of them were shot in the back. He was the first one. They said that he killed 9 months after he started his his job with the Dallas police.
Oh yes,
he's only been with the police force for 5 years, and they took him all at face value, and they did not arrest Kane when he murdered Santos. They did not.
Well, remember
that's why hell broke loose.
Remember they said the gun went off. They first tried to say the gun just misfired. They did everything they could to cover up what Kane had done, but it still finally came out. Luckily, the brother was there to tell what went on, and somehow they didn't want to believe it. But what happened was that it was so much pressure in that march. Yes, there were a lot of Latinos, but it was a lot of African Americans in that march. A lot of African. It was a whole lot of African Americans in that march because we knew what it was like to be shot down by the police. They used to kill at least 15 African Americans a year. Dallas Police Department. They used to shoot over 30 every year. We marched and protested and fought till they finally stopped shooting and killing us down like dogs. To have a policeman to have shot and killed 2 or 3 people in Dallas, we can go back 20, 25, 30 years. That was not uncommon. That was not uncommon for them. They would put notches on their guns. On how many they killed.
White. The police officers were 100% white.
Yeah, well, let me say this. You had African Americans on the police department, but I've only known 1 or 2 African Americans ever to kill anybody in Dallas. We don't kill people. Our police don't kill people. They go by the book. But we still got too many people that really are shot down like dogs. But I will give the Hispanic community credit. It wasn't long after that. There was a gentleman by the name of Mr. Guzman. Have y'all heard of him? Well, they went down they took these guys down on the Trinity River to punish them. They're gonna make them confess to doing something they say they did not do. It was some sheriff deputies that went down there, and these fellas, Mr. Guzman, he was a Hispanic gentleman, and his friends, they got the control of those guns some kind of way and ended up killing them.
I remember.
You remember that?
Yeah, and the hate that they had towards Hispanics. I mean, everybody was guilty.
See, if a lot of people don't realize, it didn't used to be a whole lot of Hispanics in Dallas. Your major population was black and white. It wasn't a lot of Hispanic like you see now. See, Little Mexico was just what that was. That's where probably 50 to 60% of all Mexicans in Dallas lived at that particular time. It wasn't a whole lot like it is now, and they were. Really, they dogged Hispanics out. All the white policemen, they dogged y'all out. They really was. And so many changes have come about because we march, we protest in Dallas. Don't let nobody tell you that we didn't march and protest in the 80s. And it was a time that we just brought about some changes, but you can't never stop. That's where we make our mistakes, when we stop protesting and standing up, because that snake, that racism continues to move on. While we stop and rest, they're still running. They're still running. They may you think they're tortoises, but they still keep moving while we run fast and stop. All right, thank you, Josephine. All right, that closes the line, 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 2 and say good morning to Casey. All righty. Good morning, Casey.
Good morning, Pastor Barnett. I want to say good morning to your guests as well.
Good morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go right. Go right here. Did we lose you? Wow. All right. I guess we lost Casey. All right. 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 1 and say good morning to James. All righty. Good morning, James.
Yes, good morning, Rev Barnett. James in Palestine.
How are you?
I'm blessed. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate the sacrifices, and you and Reverend Wright and all the other civil rights activists that's working up there. I got so many things to say. I'm going to try to say a bunch of things in a short time. One of them is the Trayvon Martin case there. I call that premeditated murder. And also the prosecution with no more than a court-appointed attorney. Mm-hmm. And it got the family in worse trouble than they already was in. So that's how I see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. And Jasper, Texas, Jasper, Texas need to be mixed with that. And I hear the Hispanic speaking and the Chicano. We, as a group, I marched back in the 60s, late 60s and early 70s. I was out there in civil rights in Hawaii, California, and all over. But I'm still here in Palestine. I'm kind of doing the same type thing. And we have our problems here. But I'm willing to meet with anyone at anywhere, and let's come together with a nucleus and stop all this senseless, this madness that's going on here. Reverend Barnett, on the cameras that's supposed to be working on that property, the family ought to sue that property owner because they have signs that say cameras and working on that property, so they should have videoed everything that took place, no matter where.
Well, you know, those cameras conveniently went out at that time.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure they weren't. I'm not sure they weren't working. You know, this was a cover up from people in high places. Remember, they did not even bring any charges. It was 44 days later before they brought any charges against Zimmerman. So the police department, everything down there seemed to be corrupt and messy.
Yes, sir. It's that way all over. The lady on the top of the courthouse is nothing more than a whore. She's been pimped out by all these people. And as far as white people, they just have to walk a mile in our shoes. They will never understand unless they become black, and they have to do like Jesus said, do. Take black folks and Hispanic folks, yoke up on you and learn of us.
Yeah.
And you got all kind of movies talking about white folks can't jump and I pass for black or white or whatever. Well, get out here and really do something instead of talking, and you'll see what we're talking about. We catch hell the moment we wake up and got to think about it, walking out of our house and meet what's out here in white America. Yeah. It's really crazy out here. People don't realize that. Reverend Barnett, that was a package I left with you when we visited and was a guest on your program called Eyes on Palestine.
Right.
The Texas Civil Rights Project. If you look in there, It's all over the United States, but it ain't going.
I've read it. Don't worry. I've read it. I read the whole thing.
We need to work on that package all over Texas and the United States and come together on all of that, because if our people, no matter how you get high, drink, or smoke, I'm not promoting that, but I'm saying we need to pull our bitches up, our minds up, and go to these city council meetings, county commissioner meetings, school board meetings, and all of that, and participate and become a part of that, and get our children at school to get on these student councils and all these things here and pay attention. We getting high and getting drunk, and we getting shot out like dogs. This is really crazy out here.
All righty. I thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your call. All right, 972-647-1893. We're talking about, at this point in time, both the Zimmerman verdict and Remembering Santos. July 24th, Wednesday, 10 a.m., the Ritual and Service press conference commemorating the life of Santos Rodriguez. This will be at Oakland Cemetery, right there, 3900 block of Malcolm X. That'll be July 24th, 10 a.m. 6 p.m. that same evening, discussion panel by the Mexican American Historical League. All right, the struggle for Mexican American civil rights in Dallas. That's going to be held at the Latino Cultural Center. That's 2600 Live Oak, right here in the city of Dallas. That's that Wednesday evening, July 24th. July 27th. 6:30 p.m. Remembering Santos community events at Pikes Peak Park on Harry Hines Boulevard and Hunt. That's July 27th, starting at 6:30 that Saturday evening. All righty. These two young men here in the studio, young people are commemorating. Young people are taking the mantle on this. Have y'all had any input from some of the people that were alive at that time and remember? Are they working with y'all?
Yes, we have coalition members that were there active that participated in the original march.
All right. Have y'all talked to some of the real strong Hispanic civil rights leaders? Who do they tell y'all was the great civil rights leaders in this city? What family? Who are they? Y'all don't know? There was a family that stood strong in this city. They still have people serving, young man serving on the city council.
You're talking
now.
about Medrano?
The Medranos.
Yeah.
They were for real. Their father, Pancho, he was our friend. He was a friend to anybody that was trying to fight for freedom. Pancho Medrano. Yeah, he's one of the greatest civil rights leaders that ever come through this town. It was Pancho Medrano. All right, 972-647-1893. Where are we? Which one? 3? We need... all right, let's go to 3 and say good morning to... I don't have a 3. I don't know who's on there. Shelly?
Yeah.
Same Shelly?
Yeah, she called back. Talk to her again.
I got so many calls, I have to go back to call. Now, let's go to Bridget on line 2. All right. Good morning, Bridget.
Oh, yeah, good morning. I just want to go back to an earlier call from when he was talking about the parents. It was nothing that they could do. I mean, you tell your kids, you train them up. He still was going to be targeted because they viewed him as a predator, and
correct.
Whatever they say is right.
Mm-hmm.
Trayvon was guilty from day one, and this trial was only going to go the way it went.
Well,
as long as we keep not seeing that, it's going to keep happening.
Well, President Obama said himself some 35 years ago that could have been him. He's black. Had he had a hood on, walking in that same community, George Zimmerman would have targeted him. That could have been any of us, no matter who we are, what your parents have taught you or anything. That could have been any black person. We don't want to lay too much blame on a child for being a child. You ought to be able to go to the store and buy candy and a drink and come back and watch a basketball game in safety in America. You shouldn't have to be live and walk and tip the line and watch around you for somebody who or some predator out there who wants to kill you. That shouldn't be in America. So,
but it is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be, but yes, ma'am, it really is, and we can't lay that on the child for being targeted by George Zimmerman. And like I say, reversed roles, he would have been found guilty and probably given a death penalty.
He went to jail that same day.
Mm-hmm. That's right. All righty. Thank you. Thank you for your call. 972-647-1893. Who do we have? Who's on line one? Yeah. Oh, break time? Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you. All right. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back in just one moment.
Tornadoes, wildfires, hurricanes. News of catastrophes creates a need for volunteers. The Mass Care Task Force is a volunteer group that helps after these catastrophes. The Mass Care Task Force is a collaboration of the American Red Cross, the Salvation Army, the North Texas Food Bank, and the Volunteer Center of North Texas. Become a pre-trained disaster volunteer who is ready to help before disaster strikes. For more information on becoming a disaster volunteer, the website is forcefortexas.com. A message from KNON and the Mass Care Task Force.
I'm excited. Hi, I'm E.L. Robinson here, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited about a big KNON gospel benefit coming Saturday, July 27 to the Sunlight Missionary Baptist Church in South Dallas. I will be your host for this glorious evening of praise and song featuring the Holy Ghost Travelers, Freedom for All Choir, Reverend Eddie Finley, the Sunlight Choir, Letitia Johnson, Regina Cornelius, and Evangelist Sandra K. Haley, and many, many, many others.
It is a free event. There is no ticket required. Free spaghetti dinner at 5 p.m. The program starts at 6 p.m. An offering will be taken to support your number one gospel radio station, KNON 89.3 FM, the voice of the people. The Sunlight Missionary Baptist Church is located at 2308 Cooper in Dallas. For more information, call 214-732-8908 or go to KNON.org. That's a big KNON gospel benefit event Saturday, July 27th at the Sunlight Missionary Baptist Church on Dallas' sunny south side.
All right, we're back on Church Information at Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. I tell you right now, we have Mr. Greg Barber on the line with our Solution in Action Today job line. He's on line one. Good morning, Mr. Barber. How are you?
I'm doing fine, Rev Barnett. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, I believe, are the tenets of our Constitution, aren't they?
Well, you know, you got to be long-winded because we've been pursuing this a long time, and I don't think we caught up with it yet.
I understand, but we played a song last week, and I wonder if that song still resonates. Mm-hmm. Was it because he was wearing a hoodie? Was it because he was in the rain? Was it because he was dark?
Because he was black.
Because he was black.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was black. And we must understand, Trayvon is all of us. Until we put ourselves in that seat, until we see ourselves, until we see our kids, if that had been your son, my son, anybody's son, it doesn't matter. It wasn't the fact that it was Trayvon. Simply because he was black, because he said they always get away with it. He didn't say he said they, which connects him with a group.
Well, that not only connects our son, that connects us.
That connects
all black people that they see where they don't want to see them. Not that you're never in the wrong place. If you're in America, it's supposed to be, you know, the free place, home of the free. So that goes for any of us, that we could all be shot down at any time.
Exactly. And until we are able to make that connect,
mm-hmm.
until we are able to make that rationale,
then we will always dismayed as, and I understand, I don't want to understand, but I understand the president's position, I understand the attorney general's position. But no, we cannot be deferred away from this case. We can't be deferred on changing the laws. Yes, that needs to be done, but we still need to keep our focus on this case, because one more is one too many. One more is
but now they are still killing us. They just showed me where this young man here in Pleasant Grove, what was his name? Say his name again.
Gerardo Pineda.
Yes, was killed on his own property, and they showed me a picture of him. He is a boy. He doesn't. He doesn't even look threatening here. He's a little young boy, and they're still shooting. But I tell you what, one of the things we better watch is the media.
That's right.
When things are hot and they still continue to do certain things, they don't report it.
Well,
they keep it hid. They keep it hid.
To tell you the truth, there is a case almost around the city. This is running rampant. It's more rampant than people know. And you better wake up, people.
Yeah.
You better wake up, because as they said, I believe it was Stokely Carmichael, if they come for me at 12, they'll be back for you at 2.
Right.
If you don't speak up, this will come knocking at your door, folks. We need to wake up.
All right.
We need to wake up. On our job line, SAT job line, brought to you every Saturday morning. Then church information in open forum here on Knon 89.3, the voice of the people. This morning on the job line, we have Integrees Energy Group is looking for a production facility laborer. They're asking you to apply online at www.integreesgroup.com. That's www.integreesgroup.com. Once again, that's www.integreesgroup.com. Old Council Building Envelope is looking for warehouse personnel. They're asking you to apply online at www.oldcastlecareers.com. Once again, the web address is www.oldcastlecareers.com. DHL is looking for warehouse representatives. They're asking you to apply online at www.dp-jobpartners.com. Once again, the web address is www.dp-dhl.jobpartners.com. Cardinal Health is looking for warehouse representatives. They're asking you to apply online at www.cardinal, CARDINALHLTH.TALEO.net/career section. Once again, the web address is www.cardinalHLTH.TALEO.net/career section. If you are a child-loving, patient, and energetic individual and would like to work in a daycare setting, the number for inquiry is 972-290-4995. Once again, if you are a child-loving, patient, and energetic individual and would like to work in a daycare setting, the number for inquiry is 972-290-4995. If you are a person affected by addiction and need assistance with your recovery efforts, or an ex-offender trying to make the transition back to mainstream society and needs assistance with job search, the number for inquiry is 214-634-2722. Once again, if you are a person affected by addiction and need assistance with your recovery efforts, or an ex-offender trying to make their transition back into mainstream society and needs assistance with job search, the number for inquiry is 214-634-2722. Today is a good day if you're looking for a job to find one. Let me repeat that. Today is a good day if you're looking for a job to find one. Today is a good day to see the fight and join in. 11 o'clock downtown. Today is a great day. Today is a great day to raise up and let your voice be heard. The late great Bob Marley once said, get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. The late Godfather of Soul said, we are people, we like the birds and the bees. We'd rather die on our feet than live on our knees. Get up off your knees and stand up. And with that, we bring our SAT job line to a close.
All righty. Thank you. Great job. Great job. Great job, as always, Mr. Greg Barber, with our Solution in Action Today job line. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Let's go to line 4 and say good morning to Malcolm. All righty. Good morning, Malcolm. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
Thank you for being so patient. All right. Go right in.
I called in before, and I'm calling to say that to you that I was wrong and you were right. And I was wrong not because I didn't believe you were right, because actually I believe you were right. But the facts and the evidence support the fact that this guy was guilty. Now, and I just want to throw out this one issue. I don't want to take up too much time, but you can kind of check into it. There's an issue known as jury nullification. And I know during the O.J. Simpson trial, when the jury came back and they found O.J. not guilty, there was an issue brought up in the media and discussed about jury nullification, because that's what they felt occurred with the O.J. Simpson trial. I didn't agree with that, but that's what they felt. But I haven't heard anybody raise the issue of jury nullification as it relates to this trial. And the facts, what makes the issue jury nullification, because if you accept the law of stand your ground or self-defense, the question is, why was the law of stand your ground or self-defense not applied to the victim?
They really didn't have stand your ground as a part of this trial.
I understand that.
But it became a part of the deliberation, because the woman let us know. Because on stand your ground, he would have been easily convicted on stand your ground, because he got out of the vehicle.
That's correct.
So he would have been easy to convict. So it was not a part of the trial, but they made it a part of the deliberation. So this was basically a kangaroo court that let this man go. Thank you, Malcolm. Thank you for your call. All right? Yeah, go right here.
I just wanted to point out that the murder of Trayvon and Santos Rodriguez is not an isolated case. I mean, there's been many of them, and like what just happened in Pleasant Grove, right? And there's also been the killing of 62 unarmed men by Dallas police officers, like Clinton Allen, who was shot 7 times, and Tobias Mackey 9 times, and this guy Tony Menchaca, who was shot 23 times.
Well, so, they used to say when they catch one of us unarmed, they say they try to shoot us to wound us, but that gun would keep on shooting. It just wouldn't stop. Bang, bang, bang. That gun just didn't. And, they didn't pull it that many times, but it just keep on shooting.
And
that was the police defense. You're laughing, but that's really what they would say. The gun would just keep shooting.
And there's been about 70% of the black and Hispanics. They were the victims. About 70%. So I mean, race is one of the main factors. However, I think
rarely kill white folks.
I think that it's important, however, to point out that we need to question what the police as an institution is and what their purpose is. Because I mean, they have been oppressing people for so long, and they always took the wrong side in the civil rights, during the workers' rights, during the suffrage movement.
Correct.
And they are still doing it in Turkey.
We know the history. We
Mexico.
know the history of the police. Okay, the police department came out of the Ku Klux Klan in Tennessee. Basically, they came to control the former slaves. A lot of people that joined the police department had been discriminated against in Ireland. So the Irish came, and this is how they got a toehold in America, by becoming police and oppressing black people. This is how the whole thing come about. We know the history of them, and it is not pretty. They have never been to friends, people of color. You're talking about used to treat people bad. My God, both blacks and browns have had a terrible history with the police departments across America. And when I say police department, I'm talking about sheriff departments, highway patrol. All of them have mistreated people of color. This has been basically a military force for racism. It has been something on the inside military to make sure that white supremacy kept its place in America. The police department has been that security arm for it. And it's basically been used like that. We always say, well, there's always a few bad. No. It was a whole bunch of them that are bad apples. A whole lot of them.
The thing is, we still see a lot of Hispanics and African American police officers also, abusing people and abusing their authority. And so I think that as race, it is one of the main factors. for these tragedies. I think that also, as I've stated before, the police as an entity, I think that it's a problem also. It's something that we need to address.
Oh yes, definitely. We need to form coalitions. Now, African Americans have addressed it over the years. We've gone lax. LULAX has found a lot of suits, and they won some things. But see, the problem is we're not vigilant. Yep. We only jump up and scream when something like what has happened now, a national story.
Yeah.
And what they're counting on, as soon as we've screamed and hollered, we'll go home and go back into our own little sequestration and hide and won't say anything else until something else, happens real bad that it will get some national publicity. This is what they're counting on. If we remain vigilant, things like this would change for a long time, but we don't remain vigilant.
Yeah, and what we need to do is keep on with the coalitions. We need to keep forming tight-knit coalitions so then when something like this does occur, we're ready and we'll take to the streets.
Let me say something to you, my brown brothers. We need to join coalitions when it happens to blacks also. Now, blacks have supported you, but in many cases, y'all have been there, and something happened to blacks, y'all have not supported us. Now, I'll be honest about it. But if we, like you said, if we get coalitions, and let those coalitions be true to the cause, things could change. Because if you put blacks and browns together, we rule this city. We're the majority in this city.
Absolutely.
We're the majority. We can make sure everybody, black, white, brown, yellow, everybody, have a fair chance in this city. Everybody. We've never had a nature of oppressing anybody. And we want to see everybody get a part. It's one of the richest cities on the face of this earth. And that's why, but we have too many people still living in poverty. So we can help make laws and become a real part of this city if we truly coalesce. Okay? Yep. All righty. Let's go back to our phone line and say good morning to John. All righty. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Pastor Barnett.
Yes,
Yes, the thing that I want to bring out is, I don't know, did you see the video of gentleman when they were with the police and he was describing what happened?
Yeah.
Do you remember, he didn't say he was down, he said Trayvon reached at the gun and he pulled back, and then he said when he shot Trayvon said, you got me. Nobody says that. That's Hollywood. That's when we was little boys playing cowboys and Indians.
That's right.
You say, "Oh, I got you," and then you say, "Yeah, you got me," and we would stumble 30 minutes before we fall. That's Hollywood.
I got a funny feeling Trayvon was standing up when he shot him.
He was standing up.
But the way they trying to portray Trayvon was on top of him.
Yeah, I don't know where they got that from, because in the video, he said that Trayvon reached for his gun and he pulled it out and shot Trayvon, and Trayvon said, "You got me."
Well,
that's what he said in the video.
The whole thing was a charade, a sham to let him go. That's why I'm saying we have to remain vigilant. We have to stay on top of it. It's in the federal, it's in the Department of Justice. The ball is in their court. And whatever they rule, if Holder says they're going to go and prosecute him, it's going to be a hard prosecution to prove. But still, we got to remain vigilant. I've been dealing with civil rights since 1957. And I see us so many times. Things like this happen. We holler and scream for a while, but then we turn right around and let it go. We come together, coalesce in this city, make this city truly what it could be. African Americans, Hispanics, whites, Asians, whatever you are, can live together in harmony in this city, but it will not come together until the two main groups who are oppressed come together. All right, brothers? Are we going to come together? I'm out of time. I didn't know it. I'm out of here. Workers' Meet is coming. All righty. Stay tuned to all the great program. I'm Marion Barnett. I'm Senior Pastor of Heavenly Church. We're located at Bruton and Masters here in the city of Dallas. Service beginning at 11 o'clock on Sunday mornings and Sunday school 9:30. Come by and see us. Next voice you'll be hearing is from the Workers' Meet. They'll be telling you about, I don't know, probably Walmart or somebody today. Got to get out and got to run. Bye-bye.
KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227 or extension 233. For more information, go to KNON.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.